Hello, guys. Well, there's been some news lately. Nothing huge, nothing blockbuster proportions, but some updates of previous stories that we had. Sometimes we get stories and we don't have details too much of what happened. Well, I like when we get some updates and then we can piece things together. And I think we got a few of those. You might enjoy it. First one, so we start low and we aim high after. Uh, this one is a man injured in Montreal. So somebody sprayed rounds on a 35-year-old on the night of Tuesday at 9:35 a.m. I'm trying to see if we can get details. The suspect fled before the cops arrived, but he was found at 4:20 in the morning inside of an apartment. So, just want to see here. Yeah, that's it. Oh, look. The emergency. Yeah, it says the emergency were called on the intersection of Tupper and Seymour, but then they found the suspect inside of an apartment. So really, they found the guy nearby. And they don't have more information on this, but like I said, later on when we got a storyline and they mentioned this, honestly, it'll be hard to remember. But unless it's next week or something, some update, something happens, and then because it's happened before. Next story: 3 occupants without driving license inside driving a vehicle filled with stupifiers. Now that's dumb. That's about one of the dumbest things that that you can do is be committing a crime, and you invite police to search your car because you basically don't have a driving license if they do stop you. I think it's protocol, no? If you don't have a driving license, they catch you, they say, show me your driving license. You say, sorry, I don't have one. I think it's customary for them to search your car. So that's about the stupidest things you can do. If your car is filled with stupifiers, is what it says here. Rempli. Oh, man. It never ceases to amaze me. Oh, man. So, near Route 138, on the night of the 10th to the 11th of August in Charlevoix, 3 men were on board of a vehicle. What's up, 518 Chopper DJ? What's up, buddy? And 518 Chopper, you too, buddy. So that makes us 3, 518 Chopper DJ and me. Imagine us 3 riding a car. None of us have a driving license, and we're packed with stupifiers. It says 5,300 units of M&Ms and more than 1.5 kilos of cane. Damn, son. Oh, my God. All of them are from Sept-Ile. Sept-Ile. Now, that's an important one. That's what we deem our capital of the North Coast. Now, before the nitpicker who says, that's not true, I know. I make my own terms here. Just like I made the word up, stupifiers, which sounds like it's completely erroneous. But for us, it's a hidden joke. But it's also because I can't say the real words for you know what. But 3 individuals in Sept-Ile, which we deem the capital along the North Coast because it's the most important town there. So all 3 of them from the same place. Now that's good for us. It tells you that the trade over there is still flourishing because Al Boivin is still on the run. This would be his circle of influence along that coast. He used to allegedly manage for the Hells Angels, but not anymore. So who are they? 2 of them, Gabriel Thibault, 22, Alexandre Gabriel Gagnon, 27, were liberated for the moment. So I guess they'll appear in court. But there's the driver. His name is Bobby de Raspe Duguay, 39. So he's the head of that group, and he's going to be detained. Interesting. That's it so far. They didn't give us any allegiances, but they got a pretty big sums there, the cops. 53 units, 100 units of M&Ms, and 1.5 kilos of cane. And none of these geniuses had the intelligence to think maybe we should get someone who has a driving license just in case we make a mistake on the road, and it's not your fault. People who are driving today, a lot of them are aggressive on the road, bro. They'll cause an accident even if it's not your fault. And then what do? You're messed up because the cops were coming. Important actor of the BFM, rapper Myzery arrested. Yes, we did talk about this already, but I don't think it was. This seems like an update article here, so that's the only reason I wanted to double check here. His real name is David Bouchard Michel. He was arrested in link for acts of violence that happened on the 21st of July in Mani Utenam. Okay. He's 40 years old. And what are the charges? They're saying a plethora of accusations. Séquestration, that means like holding a guy hostage, he can't move, or he's going to get hurt type of thing. Armed aggression, causing bodily harm, and carrying the tools in order to commit something dangerous. I don't know how to translate this. All right, I guess that's. I was hoping they were going to give us a little bit more details. I don't know. Let's just skip that one. Okay, continuing along the North Coast. So the North Coast. Do you remember, like a few weeks ago, I told you, pal, that it's been dying down. You remember? And we talked about because earlier February, I believe, was it? Was it what's his name? Ice-Pick-Turmel got arrested. He's still in Italy. We don't know anything about that. But he's one of the two heads of the rebellion, right? So he was arrested. And once that arrest happened, we noticed together that suddenly all the stories, the blockbuster stories, week after week after week, we weren't finding them anymore. Things really died down. And we sort of came to the reasonable conclusion that has something to do with it, that he was ordering them. And then we got news articles that came out. They were confirming that from some storylines that they were coming and they were coming directly from him. He was managing the whole affair from abroad, and that's a Canadian way. That's a Canadian thing. Now, I don't know about the Americans so far. I've never read any stories on the American front of this pattern. Maybe it's just because I don't research in depth, but it would have landed on my lap. But this is a very Canadian thing I've noticed. Whether you go in British Columbia, their kingpins are living in Thailand or in Philippines inside of a prison cell and still making phone calls somehow, plotting and scheming against other people and having other gangsters in Canada killed. They're by indirectly dealing stupifiers. Maybe they found a way to ship it here, and then they have their kids do it here, sending on missions to kill their enemies. Canada's crazy. Canada's freaking nuts, and this pattern is not. It happens in British Columbia. I'm gonna just assume it's happening in Ontario, although I don't have a single example in my head. But Quebec, you have that confirmed by now. You have it confirmed. What's his name? Ice-Pick-Turmel was doing it that way. So we thought it was quiet. It was done. But then I told you, I said, not because I'm smart or anything, not at all. I was just guessing here. I said Alboivin is the other half, and he's not not arrested. If there's anything that's gonna pop up, it could be from his side, and the only way we'll really know about that, in my because we have limited knowledge, the only way we'll know is if it's his area of influence where there's action. Now the thing is, there has been no action, so I was like, remember I told you, man, looks like we got spooked. It's over. The orders from him too are gonna be quieting down, and that's what I thought. But I got a series of articles here that's saying that not really, man. Now we got the car with the three dudes. That's okay. They were just gonna go deal. But I want to see some action here. Grounds being let off on the North Coast. A man arrested 70 kilometers away. Here you have it. He tried to off someone, I guess. This one's August 15th. They're talking about the Wednesday to Thursday, so that's about last week, right? He was arrested a couple of hours later in Saguenay. There you go, even more bullseye for us. Saguenay is the hometown. That's exactly Alboivin's place, you know? That's exactly his place. Now, we can assume, we're just assuming here, but we're seeing action happening in that area. Someone's trying to kill someone. They stopped somebody around 2 in the morning. Oh no, they were called at 2 in the morning when the rounds went off after an altercation between two men. So maybe they're fighting for you know, because there's a war going on to control the area, contesting territories. Somebody must have called the cops. We're not going to get more details with that. A man in his 40s was transported to a hospital. That's about it that we're going to get. And then at 3 p.m. on Thursday, they put their shackles on the suspect. It was 70 kilometers away in Sacré-Cœur, in Le Fjord. I don't even know. For me, it's Ford. I don't know how you guys pronounce this with the FJ, you know? But Fjord, because now it's even more complicated. We're in Francais, you know? So I don't know how you guys say it. It's even more weird for me. But de Saguenay, you know? So he was on foot, they say. He's still detained. Yeah, I said for this moment, there's not enough detail to confirm if these events are linked to organized crime. I'll tell you right now, I'm going to go for it, you know. Canada's not the U.S., you know. People don't, regular people don't carry guns, you understand? They don't, two honest citizens are not getting into an argument and blasting at each other, you know. They don't have the tool on them, you know. It's not Texas. That's not how it works over here. Over here, you can almost certainly jump on this and make conclusions when you have the areas, the territories, the time of the day, 2 a.m., and someone blasting someone in Saguenay in the middle of biker versus gangs. Next story, is this the same story? Because they're talking about a man victim of an attempted murder in Saguenay. Oh, it could be this. Yeah, I think it's the same because they're talking about 2:45 in the morning. But now they're mentioning Jonquière. I did not read the word Jonquière here. So I'm just gonna. Yeah, I tried to control effing it. It's not popping up on my screen. It could be another event. I don't know, but it's still 2:45 in the morning. Maybe it's another word inside of that neighborhood, and it could be the exact same one. You know, it's just they didn't need to mention that. So let's see what we got. But there's a video. That's what we're gonna check. Let me just before it pops your ears, man.
C'est pas sécurisant. La tentative.
Oh, my apologies. You could probably hear it, but I can't hear it. It's on the wrong speaker. I just gotta fix it for me so I can translate it for you.
La tentative de meurtre survenue dans la nuit de mardi à mercredi inquiète les citoyens du secteur.
So she said Tuesday to Wednesday. Note, it cannot be the... I apologize. I should note. Yeah, it cannot be the same one, friend. It cannot be. Because the first one, we just talked about. North Coast, some guy shot someone, whatever. This one says it's on the night of Wednesday to Thursday. Note that. So 100%, we're confirming right now. Don't be confused. This new one we're about to listen to is another one. It's happening in Saguenay. Do you see the sequence of events here? This is basically, they said Tuesday to Wednesday. Here they're saying... what am I reading here? Here they said Wednesday to Thursday. So this actually happened second. And what we're going to listen to now happened the previous night. So 2 days, two nights in a row at around the same time. Or no, maybe this one's actually during, this is in the morning hours too. So they both happened in the morning hours. One day after the next, same area of influence. Let's see.
Surtout que le ou les suspects courent toujours.
They didn't catch suspects, they're still on run.
Vers 2h45, un homme dans la quarantaine connu des milieux...
What? Apologize for this.
45, un homme dans le ou les suspects courent toujours. Vers 2h45, un homme...
Yeah, okay, 2:45. My apologies. I wanted to be sure of the hours.
Dans la quarantaine connu des milieux policiers...
40-year-old, known by the police.
A été poignardé dans sa résidence de la rue des Saules.
Oh, he got shanked. This time the person got shanked.
dans l'arrondissement de Jonquière.
Victime qui, malgré ses blessures, a réussi à conduire son automobile jusqu'à l'hôpital de Jonquière.
Despite his injuries, he managed to drive himself to the hospital. Now, because it's with the shank, that ruins that. You know, not that it's a good or a bad thing, but it ruins the whole sequence of events. What we want to see. What I wanted to see was. That's what I wanted to see. I want to see the rounds being let off 2 nights in a row. You know, this could just be an argument between 2 people, and it just coincidentally happened in the same area.
Pour recevoir des soins.
Des contrôles routiers ont été érigés à plusieurs endroits dans la ville tôt mercredi matin, avant d'être levés en matinée.
Et présentement, il y a vraiment un ou des suspects potentiels.
Currently, it's one or many suspects.
On recherche des indices, des traces, des images.
They're looking for images, they're looking for video cameras in the neighborhood, all that.
Un drone a aussi été utilisé pour sillonner le secteur à la recherche d'indices.
They're also using drones to look for evidence.
Selon nos informations, ce serait la 3e fois que la résidence et son occupant sont la cible d'actes criminels.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. According to the cops, so this is someone who got targeted at his home. I don't know, he opened his door, someone rang the bell, and maybe they attacked him like this. Why? It's the 3rd time. It's the 3rd time this person was attacked at this home. Now we can actually jump with that sequence of events thing. It's actually good.
En février dernier, l'homme a été victime d'une agression dans son domicile.
In February, he was victimized then at his home.
Quelques semaines plus tôt, c'est son véhicule qui aurait été incendié.
And a couple of weeks before that, before he got assaulted at his home, a couple of weeks before that, his vehicle was set on fire. Now you got it. Vehicle set on fire. That's the pattern. This is not 2 people who are... He's not a guy who's magically getting into fights in front of his place 3 times in a row. He's under attack. There's a group after him.
Le poste de commandement du service de...
What do you think? This smells... It smells like BFM is attacking someone in this area, or BFM is getting attacked. One of their dealers is being attacked. That's what it sounds like to me. It fits just perfect right now.
La police a été déplacée sur les lieux. Les autorités demandent aux gens du secteur de porter une attention particulière à leurs caméras de surveillance.
S'il y a des gens qui ont des caméras qui filment à l'extérieur,
just asking for your cameras.
prendre le temps de visionner ces images-là. Si
You say if you have a camera, please check your own video and see if you notice anything weird in those hours.
il y a quoi que ce soit qui pourrait être relié à l'événement, on vous demande de communiquer avec le service de police.
Les autorités indiquent que la situation est sous contrôle et que le secteur est sécuritaire pour la population. Mais plusieurs sont préoccupés.
Avec des jeunes enfants, l'école qui va...
Yeah, that's people just complaining in the neighborhood. You know, they're scared. We're gonna skip this.
pour les parents. C'est tranquille habituellement.
Oui, habituellement. Là,
It's quiet usually. Yeah, it's
Moi, je
quiet.
pense que les policiers font leur travail, puis moi, ça me rassure beaucoup de les voir sur le terrain.
I'm happy to see the cops doing their job. I'm
On
reassured.
sait qu'ils sont aussi dans tout le Saguenay au complet pour trouver les responsables, mais ça reste qu'en tant que maman, oui, on reste inquiète puis on reste un peu plus vigilant.
Selon le service de police de Saguenay, il est trop tôt pour le moment pour relier l'événement à la guerre pour le contrôle sur le...
At the moment, it's too early to tie the events to the war of gangs and the Hells Angels. Is probably what she's going to say. She might not say the word Hells Angels, but you know. So I don't think it's too early, in my opinion. This one is just perfect, you know. It's not just this event right now, man. They've been after this guy 3 times at his home. They burned his car. Like, what else do you need, man? It's written in stone right now. I'm satisfied. There you go, guys. Now, this one is very, very fun for me for one reason, man. And do you remember? Well, you won't remember by now. You'll sort of remember. This is great. We actually get something back. It's not going to be in detail, but look, in the last year, in 2024, 2023 to 2020, I think I'll say 2024. I think it's 2024. 2024, me and you, we saw multiple types of fires. We saw vehicles being burned in front of their homes, and it was often in Quartier-Ville à Untitled, or it was in Laval. In Laval, what was more peculiar to it, in my opinion, it was less the cars burning, it was more businesses getting burned. And we had at least 2 events that I remember by memory where we were analyzing a video footage. I think the business was a spa. One of them, at least, the footage me and you saw, I am 100% on this, it was a spa. Or a woman's hair salon or something along those lines. I think it was a spa. And we saw a footage with like 3-4 dudes. Just looking at them, you could, they're masking their face. They're wearing a hoodie, but you could still see the color of the skin. You know what I mean? You could tell, like, okay, he's not black. You know what I mean? And he was not black, and they were not black. But they all had the same color of the skin. Now, granted, the video footage is not high quality. It may have been I think it was in the night too. Sometimes you have video footage is black and white, but even when it's black and white, because even if it's black and white, you'll not be able to tell the color if it's a yellow guy, orange guy. You probably won't, but you'll know he's not black. You know what I mean? And they were not black guys. It left the possibility for Arab, maybe Asian or Latino, and left possibilities for those. But one thing we saw in the video is those guys, they went inside of this spa, and they lit up they turned something on, and they poured the accelerant, I believe, and then they threw the fire match inside of the place. I do recall one of them we watched when he did it. He was too close to the flames. I don't know, like he lit the thing, but it catches up real quick. I think there's an initial explosive effect. You know when it just right away. So what you saw is a guy who almost got burned, but I don't remember more than that. And I think they ran away and nobody got caught. But one of the footages was that. Now I'm not saying that one was this man. Well, yeah, no, I kind of ruined it, but I want you to see this video. This guy confesses to have done one of them. Now we're gonna learn something here. We find, because it's no longer mysterious. There's a face to it, and by the looks of this video, this guy looks burnt. Let's see what he has to say. Okay, I know it blew up your ears, so I gotta lower this for you. Sorry, now it's perfect for you, but I can't hear anything. We don't have the same volume level, so it's a tricky balance here. I apologize. A brief introduction. I have a little message to give you.
Il s'appelle Ali.
His name is Ali.
Et depuis 48 heures, la vidéo personnelle de ce jeune Montréalais est devenue virale.
And for the last 48 hours, a video of this young man went viral.
En recevant plus de 120 000 visionnements.
And he's got more than 120,000 views.
Autres sur TikTok.
On TikTok. I committed a criminal fire that went badly.
Et j'ai été pris dedans. J'ai subi des brûlures au 3e degré.
And I got some severe burns. I think he said 1st degree or 3rd degree.
Beaucoup d'infections.
Tons of infections.
On m'a amputé la jambe.
They amputated my leg.
On m'a amputé les doigts.
They amputated my fingers.
Dans un témoignage choc, le jeune de 23 ans s'adresse directement aux autres jeunes.
In a shocking message, he directs his message to the youth.
En leur dévoilant pourquoi son corps s'est retrouvé mutilé par le feu.
To reveal why his body is in this, I can't use the word, is in this condition because of the fire.
J'ai commencé à chercher une manière de faire de l'argent facile.
I started to look for a way to make easy money.
Et au final, cet argent facile m'a coûté beaucoup plus cher que ce
And at the end, this easy money cost me a lot.
qu'elle m'a rapporté. Donc là, Ali, il se retrouve à l'hôpital.
Now Ali, he finds himself in the hospital. Now I'm a bit confused. I thought his name was Ali. I guess he's talking about his friend, but he clearly participated with his friend to do the burning.
Il agonise.
And my friend Ali, he's agonizing right now.
Il a mal tous les jours, toutes les
He's in pain every day.
heures. S'il n'est pas dans le coma, il est en douleur.
If he's not in a coma, he's waking up and he's in pain.
S'il n'est pas anesthésié, il est en douleur.
If he doesn't have anesthetics, he's in pain. Now you see this video. That's the video that me and you checked together. We saw this together. Might even be on the channel.
Un témoignage qui aborde un crime devenu un fléau à Montréal.
That's
Et
the
pour
one.
cause, les données du service de police de la ville de Montréal démontrent clairement que les incendies criminels sont en hausse.
The data from the police shows that criminal fires are increasing. And you see here 2019 3070, the 2020 higher than that. And 2021, I'd call it flat. I don't call 4 less lower. You know, for me, it's flat. 2022, boom, explodes to 401. Now, I shouldn't have used the word explode because the following year, 2023, that's when it really explodes for real, man. Like, it's what? Oh my God, you know. The other ones, look, it was going up by 15, 16. About 15, 16, 20-ish. And then by 2023, it went up by 137, man. That is no freaking joke, 2023. And 2024, it dipped down, but it's still at record levels, at high levels. Crazy, man.
Depuis les dernières années,
J'ai eu beaucoup de temps de solitude à l'hôpital.
I had a time of solitude alone at the hospital.
J'ai perdu beaucoup d'amis qui m'ont
I lost a lot of friends
lâché.
that abandoned me.
D'ailleurs, bon débarras. Shout out aux gars qui sont restés.
And shout out to the guys who stayed with me.
Vous reconnaissez les gars.
un acte d'humilité qui désamorce la perception romancée du crime.
Son entourage, il va l'abandonner. Et toute cette idée de dire, on est une...
His entourage, I think he said he abandoned them or they abandoned him. Doesn't matter.
famille, on garde ça entre nous, est complètement fausse.
La vidéo du jeune Ali est un puissant outil pour parler aux jeunes, dit cet intervenant social.
So he's a social worker, he's saying the video is a very powerful message for others.
Il y a une différence quand moi je parle de ce genre d'incident et que la victime elle-même, elle parle.
Car l'objectif d'Ali, c'est d'espérer que son message soit entendu.
Si je fais cette
If there's any good that comes out of this, I know I'm making a silly joke here, but even because of his burns, doesn't matter what body fat he looks ripped.
Si je fais cette vidéo, c'est pas juste pour vous expliquer mon histoire, c'est aussi genre pour en sensibiliser d'autres.
Why I'm telling you this is not to just tell my stories, to sensibilize others.
Genre pour moi, si un gars qui s'apprête à peut-être faire une dinguerie, des conneries qui vont te faire finir en prison,
Doing stupid stuff that'll end you up in prison.
juste, c'est pas worth it, bro.
It's not
C'est
worth
pas
it.
worth it, les gars.
It's not worth it, guys.
Réfléchis beaucoup avant de faire quelque chose, parce que
Think about it a lot before you do something,
ça peut vraiment te coûter cher.
because it could really cost you a lot.
Ici Pascal Robida, Radio-Canada, Montréal.
Damn. So there you go.
C'est une brève
I
introduction.
wish we could get more details. Who told you to do this? What gang you were representing? What did they tell you exactly? What that this was about? Did they tell you, or and how much did they pay you? Did you know, like, what's the background story of this? Why this place was targeted, perhaps? Did they even share that with you? All this stuff would be would have been incredible to know. It's freaking crazy stuff. But yeah, that's it. So, at the time we were jumping on this. This has to be related to Arab power, prison gang, whatever, paying these guys to do it. But he is not going to tell us. Next story. This too, throwbacks. Today's throwbacks. Do you remember one of the biggest busts in Quebec of all time? We covered this about 1 year or 2 years ago, but it was an older story than that because it was based on what was happening in court. The main kingpin is Emmanuel Pitira, linked to high-level blood gangs in Montreal North. I don't remember which gang it was, as I always confuse them. It could be Zone 43. I think it's Zone 43, I think. And that guy's been in... Anyways, that guy they found he was running a network dealing cane, and a lot of cane. Record levels of cane bust we've never seen like that before. And his bust proved, at least for the news media, it proved a relationship, a corridor between Ontario to Quebec. That very strong and powerful pipeline originating from Ontario. That's where we were getting our cane from. Perhaps this is where we're getting it today, from Ontario. And Emmanuel Pitira, he's still on a run. He's probably one of the most wanted in Quebec. And he has a lot of reach. They didn't catch him, but they caught his network. Now, today we're getting some updates, it seems, on workers inside. Last time we heard it was a woman who was acting like a sort of secretary maybe inside of this home. She was the secretary of the business, whatever. These guys love to use women in key parts of these operations, you know. Even inside of their dial-a-dope, they'll have women who are the driver, delivery, they'll come deliver it to people, things like that. Over the years, we've seen it all. So anyways, let's keep going. Vast traffic of cane from Toronto to Montreal. And some guy says, quote, I've lost a lot of things, including my family. An ex-football player from the Red, I'm not sure, Football du Rouge, I have no clue what this is, and gold from the University of Laval. I guess these are teams, football teams from a university. Got 6 years of detention. So here you have a picture of him. You see the luxury vehicle. You see the bags. I'm assuming the cops planted a camera. They parked a car near his place. They put a camera there, and it was filming 24/7. And they know that these bags carry thousands of dollars worth of, you know what, cane. And his name is Kepler Philogène, you know, an athlete. Condemned for his implication in a vast network that moved close to a ton of cane inside of the province. So now this is just his little redemption story, whatever, and we don't really care about that. Just want to get details here. He's 42. That operation was called OXO, and the authorities say it was really well structured. They trafficked no less than 870 kilos of cane. And here you have a picture of a box with cane in there. You know, there you have it, these gigantic bricks. They got a assault tool, you know what I'm talking about. 32 kilos of cane from one of the suspects in Operation OXO. It's 2022 of May. We're not going to revisit this story. We've done it before. So, yeah, they're counting money. They got busted along the way, you know. It's thanks to a camera installed without the knowledge of the traffickers that the cops were able to, you know, they put the camera inside on the back end of a vehicle, probably. This is from a car that they're filming this. It's straight genius. There's no way you're not going to catch. Damn, man. There's nothing you can do about it. Damn, you're going to get caught. You just need to put a camera like that, and they can build a case against you. But this is the part that I found very, very, very interesting. A financing system was in effect that was put into place in order to acquire colossal sums necessary for re-upping the stupifiers. So they needed financing, like any business these days that finances from debt, finances from equity. These guys, I wonder what you would term this, is how they did it. Now, I guess it's not debt, or is it? I guess it's debt. I don't know. What would you deem this, debt or equity? Let's see the details. You finance nerds, tell me what would this be categorized as. It says, we promised to the investors quick profits of $20,000 to $30,000 per month. So how much did you have to, what sums did you have to invest with them? I wonder. So say you gave them $20,000. Were you getting back every month $20,000? Or did you have to put a lot more in that? I'm interested in the details. I've heard this before, by the way. This is not the first system in place. I believe this is a lot. I'm certain this is a lot more common. This is not a one-off thing. They're geniuses. They made this up. This is how it goes down. Often. So, where were we? It's by listening to conversations captured by a hidden microphone in one of the directors of the organization that the cops were informed of this financing scheme. All right, now they're just going to talk about... so this guy, so Philogène, participated personally in re-upping 12... I don't get it. Okay, so the cops were following these guys. They were monitoring them, seeing exactly when they were going to go. So they were driving from Montreal, obviously, to Toronto with money. That's the logical sequence. They went there with money. They will pay the people in Toronto. They will get the stuff, and then they'll drive it back here. This is how it worked. The cops caught 28 of these times, recorded or followed or whatever you want to call it. They counted, at least while they were aware, 28 of these. Mr. Philogène was seen, or they have proof that 12 of them he was there. He was the one actually doing the Montreal to Toronto escapades. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, now they're talking about his past, whatever, the judge. So they want to give him 6 years. I'm going to keep reading here. Then we got Maxime Renault, April 18, 2022. Now, I'm not sure Maxime took this picture of himself. Actually, I know he didn't. So that means this is his home, right? Now, this chair here is kind of... This looks like a professional massage table or something. The type where you put your face on it. Either that, or it's like a bench press. You know what I mean? A bench press chair. Now, I don't know. I'm just throwing a bunch of them out there. So it's either his home or it's in his office. But he doesn't know what's happening here. That means they literally sneak inside your house. They put the cameras too. Damn, man. Once they have enough proof, that's what happens. You're screwed. That means you don't even want to count anything in your place. You want to count your money in random locations. You got to figure out what these random locations will be. Your car is not going to be random, so even if you drive somewhere else to do it, your car's probably bugged. It means you're going to drive... That means the smartest, most, paranoid way to do this is to put in your car, drive into the woods, and then get out of your car, walk into the woods, put a nap on the floor, sit down, and risk in open air to count your money, That's the only way the place won't be bugged. You got to choose a random spot like that, far from people, and maybe you're going to be in the elements. But your car's not safe, your home's not safe, none of it. You might be able to do it in the beginning, before they're on to you. But I don't know, how long would you do that for? After about, who knows, man? Could it be 1 month, 2 months, 3 months? But at a certain point, you got to throw that all out the window and assume that you're being trailed now and a case is being built on you. Even if you see no traces of it, you're completely oblivious to it all. Then you have to start doing some paranoid stuff like that, it seems. Of course, I'm not encouraging you. We're just playing a game here, trying to see what would have been the smartest way possible to circumvent any of this. So Maxime Renault, considered as the number 2 of the organization, I guess Emmanuel Pitira was the number 1, has pled guilty for stupefier trafficking. Okay. It's funny, they don't even mention Pitira once. Not once. But I know this article is about him. Because I'll never forget this picture here. It's that home. We talked about it so much. All right. A rapper who... Yeah, in the video clip, remember we saw this video clip of a gang of rappers with BFM chains, with the boss of the BFM. This is an old video, and they were having a music video. Remember I showed it on my channel once, and they were rapping about not snitching, about the law of outlaws and gangsters, and keep your silence and things like that. And when I posted that video on my channel, well, somebody snitched me, And the consequence of snitching someone on YouTube is it's freaking strong, man. They put a warning on your account. You get like what, 1 or 2 or 3 warnings max, and then they delete your channel. No questions asked. You're done. So you don't even want one in your channel, But instead of messaging me and just telling me, "Hey, buddy, I don't know, we don't know what it is," but could have told me you're scared of the Hell's Angels and you don't want them to grab snapshots of you. But I didn't post the video. Your video was already on the web. But they didn't. You could just messaged me, and when they report you, you have the option. You can report someone and just give them the option. You have the choice in your hand. I want to strike his channel, or I just want him to take it down. And I swore I would have took it down immediately, no questions asked. But they chose to strike my channel despite the contents of of the video, man. Anyways, bygones are bygones. I got over. I got over it, but. I'm still gonna rub it, bro. You know, you didn't have to do that. You really didn't. It was in your hands. But let me see. A rapper of Quebec. Now, to be fair, this is it could be it could have nothing to do with the guys in the video. It's like some dude, one of their friends, who's just a production guy or video artist. You know what I mean? He's just a studio guy, you know, and he manages the whole thing. And he was his decision, you know. Can't blame everyone on there for that, you know. So I wanted to make a joke, you know. So I I take my chances, my opportunities whenever I can. But that's what happened. I'm not exaggerating anything. You know, twisting anything. That's literally what happened. So, what's up with the main guy in the rap video? What's up with this? Okay, so he goes back to court so he literally just finished a sentence for trafficking stupifiers, and now he's going back to court. It seems the SQ have proceeded to the arrest of David. Oh, that's him. My bad. How could I even forget his name? So that's Myzery. Of course. That's why the name was so familiar. I do not. I have such a bad memory. So this is the story of the Myzery guy. We recapped. Did we have it here? Oh, I don't know where the article went. We already talked about him. Okay, this is just another article about him. Wow. Well, I guess it was worth it to see it again. At least I remember now who Myzery is, you know? Despite having stared at him in those videos, I completely forgot, man. So he goes back to court. Yeah, we know about this. They got arrested and all that. I'm trying to see if I can get you extra details to make this worth it. Where are we at? So he's not going to do much time. It looks like because of the Canada laws or whatever, preventative time he already did, preemptive time he did, whatever it's called, he will only have 4 months and 21 days left for whatever they want to do with him. So oh, look. So he was found he was also found guilty of threatening a woman while he was on parole in the beginning of the 2024 years. And then he fled. I guess the cops wanted to capture him, and he was on the run before being found by RCMP in British Columbia. What's up with Quebec gangsters? A lot of them, they by de facto flip to British Columbia. I've noticed this, and it's not the first BFMer who fled to British Columbia, or BFM allies. You know, Alboivin, same thing. He got nabbed in British Columbia a few years ago, also. Let's see. All right, we're gonna finish. We're done with that article. All right, war for stupifiers. A dynamite cache of the BFM discovered in Portneuf. Here you go, man. A few weeks ago, we found out that some inside source was telling the newspapers that the BFM had been interested in shopping for grenades. So, or grenades, or whatever you call them. So that was just a rumor based on an inside source. And we tossed it aside and said, yeah, maybe. Well, here you go. They actually found the cache of dynamite. They found it. It actually did happen. Sorry about that.
Saisie importante dans Port-Neuf ce matin. La Sûreté du Québec qui a mis la main, en effet, sur des bâtons de dynamite lors d'une importante perquisition reliée tout ça à la guerre des stupéfiants.
So they got dynamite sticks.
Et Pierre, un homme de 37 ans a été arrêté ce
A man of 37 years of age was arrested.
matin.
Ça s'est passé tôt ce matin, Paul. Les policiers qui ont d'abord été appelés à se rendre à une résidence de Saint-Raymond, qui les
So it's a house in Saint-Raymond. It happened in the morning, the bust by the cops.
ont finalement mené à une seconde adresse située à Saint-Léonard de
And then after that, they went to look for a second address in Saint-Léonard.
Port-Neuf, sur
But not Saint-Léonard in Montreal. And I think she said Port-Neuf.
la rue principale. Donc, c'est à cet endroit qu'ils ont retrouvé des explosifs. Et ils ont pu procéder aussi à l'arrestation de Yannick Duval, âgé
So it's Yannick Duval, the guy who they arrested.
de 37 ans.
37.
Duval qui a d'ailleurs comparu au Palais de justice de Québec cet après-midi. Il fait face à un seul chef d'accusation pour possession de substances explosives sans antécédent judiciaire.
So he does not have a criminal background. He's being charged for possessing a explosive.
Le suspect a été remis en liberté
So he was released because he doesn't have a criminal background, and etc.
en s'engageant pour une caution de 1 000 $. Il
With a bond of $1,000.
va devoir respecter plusieurs conditions, comme le fait de ne pas posséder une arme à feu.
And he will have to obey the interdiction. He will not be allowed to own a fire tool.
Il sera d'ailleurs de retour devant le juge dès le 28 octobre prochain pour la suite des procédures judiciaires.
Court date is in
Et
October.
plus tôt aujourd'hui à Saint-Léonard de Portneuf, Paul, il y a des techniciens en explosifs qui ont été appelés à intervenir pour extraire les bâtons de dynamite de la résidence qui est située tout près d'une école primaire.
Wow. So yeah, they called the bomb squad, the specialists, to extract the bomb. You know, you have to make a big scene to extract the bomb because, well, you never know, something can blow up by accident. And she says there's even a school nearby.
On peut entendre à ce sujet la Sûreté du Québec sur cette opération délicate.
Now they're going to talk to the SQ. They never say anything. It's just the most obvious stuff. So I'm going to skip that.
Une enquête qui a été débutée en février dernier.
This was an investigation that had started in February. So we have what, like five months or so? Okay, February to March, April, May, June, July, August. Wow, it's been 6 months. So it's a 6 months course of an operation that led to this here.
En collaboration avec les services de police de Québec et de Lévis, c'est en lien aussi avec des perquisitions qui ont lieu au cours des derniers mois.
And somehow it's linked to other search warrants that happened in the last months. So one thing led to another that led to this, in other words. There you go, man. You see these inside sources that they have speaking? You can brush them off as, oh, yeah, these newspapers, you know, well, they don't have proof. They're playing with it. They're lying. They're trying to get headlines. And there you go, man. See how wrong you would have been. It proved to be right. Got to take these serious, man. There you got it. There you go, man. Port-Neuf, yeah. It all checks. All right. Now we go for storylines with Hell's Angels. Let's see. Ex-hitman for the Hell's Angels. The turncoat who became a cooperator with the cops, Serge Quesnel. Now, Serge Quesnel is a very old name. Serge Quesnel, it will be a name tied to the biker war of the mid-90s, I think. I'm pretty certain. So this is old school legacy history stuff. History, his name. So Serge Quesnel, yes, it is during that time. So it says the Serge Quesnel, they put him back in prison after a psychotic episode. Is that what they're saying? So there you go, that's him. With his Harley Davidson shirt. Was it Fu Manchu mustache? Is that what you call it? And then a 90s quality photo. And of course, the stripper girlfriend. You know, that will make a dad proud. What do we got here? He was caught by a detective. Yeah, in 1995. Okay. Serge Quesnel, who had assassinated 5 individuals during the biker war of the 90s, was suspended in mid-April. Oh, the liberation. Okay, the conditional liberation of Serge Quesnel, who had assassinated 5 people, and I guess he was liberated conditionally. Well, that has been suspended in mid-April after the ex-hitman of the Hells Angels had what seemed by all appearances a psychotic episode. He's 55 now, so he was really young when the biker stuff happened. Imagine that, he's only 55, despite all of that time that passed. So yeah, these are just, he had a psychotic episode. We're not gonna, I'm more interested in details from the old days I can get from this. So he got condemned to imprisonment to perpetuity in 1995. He obtained a conditional liberation in 2015. He lives since with a false identity in a secret location. So after someone else snitched on him, he snitched. And he signed a deal with the state for a contract of $500,000, which was at that point in time in history, I guess in the late 90s, the most lucrative informant deal of all time. Lucrative as if the most value. $500,000 at that time was the most value. Now, he's definitely been outdone these days. He had testified during the first court proceedings of Maurice Mambouché, which Maurice Mambouché was acquitted. Remember when he got acquitted and he walked out of the courtroom? Gregory Woolley was there and they were all cheering for him. Though that legendary scene the media caught, you remember? So he was part of that trial. For giving info, but it didn't work. It's the third time within 10 years that the conditional liberation of Quesnel has been suspended. So he got released in 2015, right? It's been 10 years since he's been released. 3 times his liberation was suspended. This is the third, I guess. After he had broken conditions that he had to respect. Crisis of paranoia. Quesnel has addiction problems, basically. Or you call it substance abuse, basically. What I could tell here. I didn't want to use that word because I get dinged by YouTube, and I just did it. That's one of the topics you're not supposed to discuss. Yeah, we're gonna... I don't think any other details is gonna serve us. So his results were positive for THC and the amps, you know. Yeah, we're not going to get anything for us here. I think just interesting to look at the past a little bit. All right, this story I remember. Remember there was a Hells Angels about last year, an old Hells Angel who, I think he was, you know, when they leave prison, they don't have any place to stay. They may even be forced to stay at something you might call a transitional home, where they're like sort of monitored, but they'll have roommates. They'll live with other people who are just been released, etc. Even Gregory Woolley had to go to one after Mago Mastiff operation. After he finally got released, after a few years, he had to go live in one of those. Even Gregory Woolley. Well, remember together we read there was a Hells Angel. I don't remember the detail whatsoever, so I don't know what happened right now. Either he got beat up, or he got stabbed, or something. But something violent happened to him at a transitional home. And something like that. I apologize. There's too many news stories I cannot recall. But there's an update on this. Hells Angel assaulted in transitional home. The liberation of Claude Gauthier has been suspended. That was suspended. And I guess removed again. I don't know. Let's see. Claude Gauthier, 57 years old, member of the Three River chapter, has been liberated at 2/3 of his sentence in the beginning of this April. So, okay, I see. So here it says, the conditional liberation of Hells Angels Claude Gauthier had been suspended after the assault of which he was a victim in a transitional home. Why would his conditional liberation be suspended if he's the victim of being assaulted? That's a little, but I guess maybe they look at the circumstance. Yeah, you were belligerent. You helped to cause this. It's not randomly the guy attacked you. Whatever. Probably they have the reasons. So he was suspended, but now he's finally being liberated again. They said forget about it. So originally he was condemned to 9 years of imprisonment for trafficking stupifiers, gangsterism, resell, I guess selling stolen goods. That's one of you guys who taught me that that's what the word means. Was it Max the Youth? So, yes, he got accused of all that after his bust for an operation. But barely a couple of days later, Gauthier was implicated in an altercation with another individual who had himself a conditional liberation in a transitional home on April 18. So now they're about to give us more details about what happened, is what it said. So here's a photo. I don't know how you capture this photo here. Claude Gauthier à gauche, that's going to be him, had discovered a hidden camera by the police inside the residence. Now that's a strange. So they liberate you from prison. You did your sentence, whatever. The Canada laws couldn't stop you because they say 9 years. You and I by now know when they say 9 years, it's not 9 years. It's a joke. So he probably got in scot-free quicker, and the cops they're like, hell no, man. Hell no. Before you even land at the new place, we're going to have cameras bugged. That's freaking crazy. Honestly, doesn't this violate someone's human rights here? You didn't even give a guy a chance, man. You didn't give the guy a chance. What the hell? All right. What am I reading, man? Hit with scissors. At 2:34, I hope I didn't misread this. I apologize if I did, but that's my understanding. They planted this to his new transitional home. Okay, at 2:34 p.m., Gauthier was about to leave the home to go outside when he exchanged a few words with the other guy, who was just coming back to that residence. So he was leaving, the other guy was coming inside the premises. Rather than leaving, I guess Mr. Gauthier, the Hell's Angel, Gauthier, after having exchanged words, probably negative words with the other guy, insults, whatever. So rather than letting that go and keep walking, leaving, and going wherever he was going to go, Gauthier then went back to his unit before being joined by another man a bit after, whatever that means. Another resident had heard some noise in this unit, this apartment or this room or whatever. And then he advised the responsibles of the premise. And this person who reported it moved around and he noticed that the two men were fighting. Gauthier showed visible marks of injuries or violence on him. Notably, des échymoses on the face. I guess they're saying scratches, or I'm not too sure what the word, scratches or blues, or, but you get the drift. He got injured on the face. And after that, Gauthier had opened and closed the door of the unit at twice. I don't know what that means either. He opened and closed the door of his room, I guess, twice, whatever that means. But these are just a summary of facts. At 2:44 p.m., cameras capped an attempted... Oh, this is a quote, so I'm just going to translate the quote. So this is a quote, guys. Someone's saying this. I'm assuming it's a judge or something like that. At 2:44 p.m., the cameras capped an attempt to flee on your part, followed by another individual. You yourself are wearing a bloodied shirt, which is ripped up, I guess, on the right shoulder. You were victim of multiple wounds made by the help of a scissor at the upper part of the body and neck. You fell on the floor while fighting. When the aggressor decided to flee, you got up and went back to your unit, so it was his room or his apartment. You then had disappeared from the range of vision. So I guess they have a camera. They were, this investigation, I told you they planted the camera, whatever. Well, it was not for this investigation. The police already planted the camera for their own reasons. But when they were doing investigation on what happened at this transitional home, they checked the camera footage. So they're saying you disappeared from the range of vision from the camera for a couple of seconds before being seen again, crumbling at the entrance of your own unit. So I guess by the entrance of his door. He just crumbled on the floor after. So that's what the commission said in their decision. Gauthier was transported to hospital. He refused to participate to an interview giving his version of the facts, affirming that his parole agent or whatever was smart enough to understand what happened. He equally refused that his medical file be transmitted to the parole board or corrections officers. I'm not sure how you say this. So he doesn't want to do any. He just want to forget about it. And he didn't want to meet anybody. He's done with this. Makes sense. Okay, now we're looking for the motives. What happened? What was these insults? Why did they go back and forth? Cleanliness in the bathroom. We ignore the motives of the altercation between Gauthier and the other individual, but the lawyer of the biker had affirmed to authorities that a conflict tied to the cleanliness or management of the bathroom, something to do with that, was the origin of the incident. She equally said that her client was suffering from injuries to the vocal cords. So remember, he got shanked apparently in the neck area, right? Now, the parole agent of Gauthier recommended that his conditional liberation be revoked in reason for a too big of a risk for society. But the CLCC, I'm no longer sure what this means, but you get it, an organization that has to do with all this prison stuff, had judged otherwise. So they said, nah, he's good to go. She canceled the suspension, arguing notably that Gauthier had realized certain progresses since his liberation, and that he had accepted to participate in a community program. And because there is no, there's no verified information that is convincing that the Hells Angels had violated his special conditions, or that he's returning to a cycle of delinquents. So the biker will soon be liberated, and he will continue to respect his severe conditions. So we're going to see all about that. Because of the story was kind of funny at times, especially the camera thing with the cops planted there. I'm a little shocked by this. I'm wondering if I even read this correctly. It sounds just crazy. But no, I clearly said this. I didn't hallucinate like, like the AI stuff. So maybe one day we're going to reread, and I'll remember him because of this story. Claude Gauthier. Will we be seeing him in the next annual runs of the Hells Angels, when the cops will be taking photos of them? You know it's coming next year, next summer, or whatever, and we'll be able to look at these photos. And kudos to whoever has a freaking good memory, and he looks at a photo and he says, hey, that's Claude Gauthier. And then he can remind me of this article today with the cameras being planted in his transitional home, and the two different governing bodies, his parole agent, saying, no, do not release this guy. He's a danger to society. And the other one that says, nah, he's not a danger. That's not true. Let him go. It will be so funny if we ever see this guy in one of the photos in next year's annual run when they do a show of force and he's surrounded by other people. But maybe he won't because he has severe conditions, right? That would be suicide. He's too smart for that. That should not happen. That's not going to happen. Anyways, yeah, that was interesting. I got you. I got me. He says paranoid. 518 Chopper says you got me paranoid with them cameras. Yeah, man. It seems like you can do anything now. It's crazy. The day that I don't know if they'll ever be able to invent cameras that can look through walls or something. You know, when they figure that out, no one's gonna be able to get away with anything ever again. They can almost. I'm certain. I bet they'll be able to definitely have some technologies. They point like a fire. I'm scared of saying the word, but the tool they have like a sort of tool. They point at the wall and they'll be able to hear what you're saying across of it. I'm sure they'll be able. Maybe they're even able to do that right now. Now all they need is the camera. They can look through walls. If they ever figure that one out, it's over. It's game over. Some way they're gonna use AI to recreate the image. You know what I mean? I don't know how they're gonna do it, but we're heading in a new world, man. Anyways, I'll end this here. I want to give a thank you to DJ. Thank you very much, DJ. I appreciate your help. God bless you. Shout out to 518 Choppers from New York. What's up, buddy? I hope Russia finally. I would say Trump. I hope Trump, despite all the chaos he's been doing, I hope he can finally end that war with the Ukraine and Russia. That would be great. And shout out to AJ Purewall. What's up, AJ? Max the Youth. What's up, buddy? Max the Youth. I missed some messages. Trying to see if I can. He says, man, as usual, I'm too late to your message to know what you're talking about. It says, looks like Ford Explorer Lincoln. Cool. Yeah, tattoo maybe. He was offering our service. Was waiting for this. Myzery. He's in trouble. Yeah, I think I'm lost. We got, who else we got here? Roy Anderson. Hells Angels are different today. They are not riding bikes, but driving pickups and wear $500 suits. My suit cost me $149. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, man. I'm not. That would be a smart thing to do. But, yeah, that would be the smartest thing to do. But you know what? They still need to show off. Unfortunately, I'm not saying they need to show off, but they're still they have this psychological need to show off. We've seen 2-3 annual runs now where the cops manage to get all their photos, all of them lined up. You know, almost give like a gift. They hand them this like a gift to the police nowadays. But it's because they're trying to undo the damage from the rebellions from the street gangs, etc. In my opinion. And nothing wrong with a $150 suit. In fact, I'm like you. You know, I don't need one, but if I ever did need one, I'd be looking for that price. It's as much as I can barely afford. And yeah, and I'm not a big fan of expensive clothes or things like that. I think people are way too materialistic these days, man. It's gotten to people's heads. Where are we? And it's just a logo. It has a logo on it, and now it's worth $150. Like, come on. Or $300, $400, whatever. Just because it has a drawing on it, you know? I appreciate Walmart. I can go get my stuff real cheap, and, you know, I don't get it when there's a little... Look at Nike. There's a freaking... cachée, there's a, what do you call it? There's a mark, there's a scratch mark on it, and now it's $100. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. And where are we? Max the Youth. Oh, I did. Sheriff, what's up, Sheriff? And Will Hildebrand, what up, buddy? Will Hildebrand. Chris Hinsley, I missed that. And Sleeping Joe. I almost missed Sleeping Joe. What's up, Sleeping Joe? And everybody else, too. Thank you for joining in. Have a great evening, guys. God bless.